Believe it or not, the insurance industry, that has to be the industry that knows the most about risk, has an issue with risk. Most insurance companies are very conservative. And one of the things we entrepreneurs do, we have to take risk by definition. I mean, we have to create things from scratch, and that's very risky. And one of the biggest learnings we make as entrepreneurs is that the only way to mitigate risk is through experiments. So one of my biggest advices to insurance companies is they have to be experimenting all the time. You cannot put your core business at risk. Your company is probably very successful and has to protect their core assets and business model, but you have to experiment in the margins and find what the disruption is. And the defining moment is, what do you do when you actually find on the margins of your business that idea that will cannibalize it? Do you act on it, or do you prefer to hide it? If you hide it, there will be a startup capitalizing on it and coming after you. I think there's something really, really important that the insurance industry can learn from the largest technology companies. There are two things that technology companies do really, really well. One is they innovate through constant experimenting. But even innovating, disruption is another thing. So the second thing that technology companies do really well is they buy disruption. If you look at the kind of companies that Google, Facebook acquire, Amazon acquire, they don't buy market share. They don't buy something that fits well into their portfolio. They buy something that's completely disruptive to what they were doing. I love those acquisitions when you hear the news, you scratch your head and you say, I mean, what are they thinking? When Facebook paid $20 billion for WhatsApp, a company without revenues, everyone scratched their heads. Today, people spend on average 2.5 hours per day on WhatsApp. When Facebook paid $1 billion for Instagram, we were all like, what is that? Now, I mean, all young people are stopping using Facebook to use Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So acquiring disruption is probably one of the best recipes for long-term success. Right now, there's a huge asymmetry of knowledge in terms of what some technology companies know about how technology can influence our behavior and what users know. And by using techniques of neuroscience and behavioral economics, today you have apps and websites that can actually manipulate us into doing what the designers of those apps and websites want us to do. So one of the key priorities moving forward is to level the field. We need users to be more aware of how technologies can affect their actions so that they can basically protect themselves against these types of manipulations. There's a lab at Stanford University called Persuasion Tech Lab that explicitly pursues how to develop technologies that can change what people believe and what people do. So right now, we are developing the knowledge to influence people's ideas and behaviors through technology.